Hi, welcome to another review by me, P. Shoke, and today's review I'm doing is on the Raine Benares series by Lisa Shearin. This series, I have to say, is one of the most unique and original ones out there. I haven't read a lot of series like this. I'm not sure whether it's set back like centuries ago, or it's just a completely alternate universe. Kind of a bit of both, I think, because it reminds me of like times, like pirate kind of times, back where people like sailed ships a lot, and definitely pre-electricity and all that. But this world is made up of magic and monsters. It's very fantasy-filled, fantastical kind of series and world, and like there's the world is kind of made up of humans, elves, and trolls, and the elves and the trolls kind of have this kind of like enemy thing going. But our main character, Raine, she's an elf, and she's lots of friends who are trolls. And so, as I said, this world is kind of course, it's magical, and Raine is a seeker, so she can find basically missing things using her magic. And at the start of this series, she finds this rock, this magical rock called a sagrid. I feel like I should be able to pronounce this since it looks like it's an Irish spelled word, Saghrad, I think. But yeah, sagrid I'm going to call it. So she finds this stone, and it's the bane of her life since book one, and she's connected to it, and all these bad guys either want her or want the stone, because whoever wields the stone is really, really powerful, but she doesn't want the stone because it's kind of evil power. And basically just people she meets along the way, family and new people who try to help her and protect her and protect the stone and stop the bad guys. And yeah, so overall it's a good series. As I said, it's original and it's exciting, and the storylines are good in each book. So far there's been 5 books. The 5th one was just released and I just read it, and that was called Con and Conjure. And there's definitely going to be a 6th book. I know that the author was in the middle of writing it, but I've no idea when that's out, so I'll find that out for you. There are a couple of negatives. I do feel that the books aren't the easiest to read. Like when I first read the first one, it took me a while to get into it, just because of the style of the writing. It's not overwritten, it's just sometimes it's a bit confusing and hard to decipher, and so I do have to give a warning about that. The most frustrating thing though is the amount of characters in this book. Like, it's been a while between the 4th and the 5th one, so when I read the 5th one last week, I couldn't remember who, like, a lot of the characters were. Like, I remembered, whether they were good or bad, but like, were they good elf, bad troll? Yeah, I couldn't. And to make it worse, like, it's not like they're normal names. They're like the most difficult to pronounce names, and I know I don't read my books aloud, but I like to be able to pronounce them in my head, and it's kind of frustrating when you don't know how. Like, there shouldn't be a phonetic transcription at the end or something. Yeah, so like there's Taltek Balmoran, Tamnis Nahruk, who's the other bad guy? At the beginning it was such a strain to remember who is who and all these people, and like, of course you get to know obviously the main ones after a while, but it was still quite tough, especially to remember all the different bad guys. There's so many bad guys after our main character Raine, so that was one of the negatives, I have to say. But there are good characters in as well. So I'm not sure when the 6th one is out, but there's 5 so far, and I do recommend them because they are a lot different to a lot of the books out there. I'm not sure if everyone will like that, because a lot of people are into their kind of pretty much same vampire, werewolf kind of supernaturally books. These are, they're nice and they're a bit different, and I enjoyed them. So I do recommend them. And okay, so now I'm going to move on to a more spoiler-filled review. For those who already read the books, or who just wants to know details. So if you don't want to know any details, please switch off now. Okay, so as I said, this series I liked overall. I liked with the love triangle. I liked the 2 kind of male points or angles. I liked Tam because he was kind of this cheeky kind of tough guy, but he was really kind of sweet underneath all that, and I think everyone loves the kind of bad boy who's really good. and I liked how he had a history with Raine. But then Michael, he had that kind of, protective and strong kind of sense to him, which was nice. And I kind of always assumed that Raine would get with Michael, because they always end up getting with kind of the good guy, and she did end up getting with him. And I didn't mind that too much, because even in the 5th book, like, her and Tam were still good friends, and he was quite protective of her as well, so, she didn't lose out in a friendship with Tam. So that was nice. I do think Raine sometimes is a bit too super. Like, she gets out of these, like, life or death situations without a scratch, which kind of made it after a while kind of got a bit boring. Like, you wanted there to be a bit more danger. Like, you should have had some kind of more realistic injuries, and there was a little bit more of that in the 3rd book, which I was happy with. But yeah, so the author, like, I know Raine is great and brave and courageous and everything, but sometimes she needs to be taken down a peg or two. What I realised as well by the 5th book, or even the 4th book, that scenes go on very long. Like if you think of it as you're watching a film, like, one scene you should cut and then go on to the next scene, but scenes, they carried on for ages. Like, her and, say, Michael and someone else discussing something will go on for, like, pages. So sometimes that was good, and sometimes you kind of wanted it to move on. The one thing that did bug me was that Raine tended to go over the status of the plot a lot in her head, like while taking a bath, or while, kind of while waiting for Michael to come back from somewhere, or I don't know, like, and that's fine when you need, like, the author needs to explain to the reader what's happening really. Raine kind of went on for pages doing this, and it was just, it broke up the tension and action of the story. It went on for ages, and the way that she went over every little thing just confused me more. I was like, I just want to get on with the story. Yeah, I don't understand every little thing, but I'm sure I'll make it to the end, But I mean, overall, I was grand. Like, I wasn't too confused. Like, there was just 1 or 2 questions in the back of my mind, but I got through to the end fine, and I knew what was happening by the end, the main ideas. So, like, Raine didn't need to go on for too long about what was happening, In the last book, in the 5th book, Rach came into it. I'm calling him Rach, or A-C-H-E. He was kind of her ex-fiancé. He was an assassin. I was really intrigued by him. I'm always into the new guy in books, so I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what happens with him and Raine in the next book. Even though, yeah, I do like her and Michael, I don't know, there's something about them, and I wish actually there was more of him in the 5th book, but anyway, it is. And, like, I've come to terms as well that Raine and the Sagrade are never going to be separated. I mean, that's the main idea of this series. Like, for a while I was thinking, will they ever just, separate her from the Sagrade and be done with the story? But I've come to realise that's not, like, that's the plot of the books. I mean, that's not really going to end, so that's fine. I mean, the author is good at thinking up new ideas, actually, and new problems for them to solve in each book. But yeah, the next one, I mean, it wouldn't be my favourite idea for the next book, but it could be great, and I am looking forward to it. I hope you enjoyed the review today, and if you have any opinions on the series, please let me know in the comments, and thanks very much for watching.